Hi there, everybody. This is Kathy Bowersox. I am the founder of Network in Action, West Chase Business Force, and I am here today with Kathy Kissner, and she is one of our members who does mortgage protection and life insurance. Kathy, welcome.
Thank you, Kathy.
Great to see you today. So tell us a little bit about your business and how you help people and what you do for them.
So I'm with Kathy Kissner Insurance. We do mortgage protection and life insurance. I've been doing that about 2 years, about 2.5 years. And so I can pretty much take care of people in the state of Texas, California, and Colorado. Mortgage protection is a way to, if anything happens to you, then the mortgage protection actually pays off your mortgage. It's attached to you, not to your mortgage lender. That's the real difference between getting it through your lender. When it's through your lender, they are the beneficiaries. And I'm actually a broker, not just an agent, but I'm a broker. So I'm able to shop different companies to make sure I can insure anybody. Whether you have cancer, you have diabetes, you have HIV, I have products that can actually get you covered, which is great because I shop around and make sure it works for you. So
a lot of people probably can't offer that.
Right. A lot of people can't because I'm not a captive agent, which means I don't sell just one particular product. And we can also work off your budget. Say, I only have $75 to allow for actually insurance on this particular type of insurance. Then I just go shopping to see what we can do, the most coverage. The difference between life insurance and mortgage protection is the living benefits. So not all insurance companies are the same. So with us, I make sure, but my company makes sure that it's been, the carrier has to have at least over 100 years of being in business, good financial backing, and I also look for living benefits. It has to be A+ with the AM Best, which is a regulator of the insurance industry. And so I only look at those particular companies.
Okay. So a lot of people probably don't understand what the living benefit means. Can you say a little bit about what that is and how that benefits people?
So like one company that I actually happen to love quite a bit, it's a fraternal company called Foresters Financial, and they actually have 3 living benefits. So what I mean by living benefits is, so say you got a $100,000 policy, you can draw up to 75% living if you have a chronic, terminal, or critical illness. So while you're alive, you can draw off those benefits. Each one has a particular criteria to meet for you to draw off those benefits. And you can use it for whatever you want to. There isn't saying you have to use it for your mortgage, you have to use it for medical. For instance, you're terminally ill, they're giving you 12 months to live. You might want to draw $75,000 and take your family on a vacation or do whatever you want to do. They're not telling you exactly what you need to do with that. So it is a living benefit.
Okay.
That's the difference between some products and others. And if someone doesn't want a living benefit, we look at something else if they want. So we just kind of go down that rabbit hole. We figure out actually what are you looking for? How do you want to protect your family? And do you have a need to actually draw off it before you actually pass?
Okay, fantastic. And for those who don't know, tell me a little bit about how the mortgage protection piece of that works. So if something happens to you,
okay, so yes, okay, I get what you're saying. So so you pass away. The way it has been in the past, mortgage lenders are the beneficiary of the actual policy. So if you pass away, again, so you have a $100,000 policy and you have a 30-year mortgage, say 15 years into your mortgage, you pass away, right? So you've been paying on a $100,000 mortgage, but say your mortgage now is $50,000. The mortgage company pays off that $50,000. So now you own the home. They're the beneficiary. Okay. So the way it is now, if you pass away, same scenario, you pass away halfway through your mortgage, the carrier actually sends your beneficiary $100,000 check. You've been paying on $100,000. why is the mortgage lender only paying off the 50? Where's the other $50,000? I paid for 100,000. I mean, that's what so now what it is your family within 24 hours of your passing sends a check directly to you for the amount, say 100,000 to your family. They can use it to pay off the mortgage. They can use it for final expense. They can use it for various different things. It's slated for that, but the carrier doesn't care how you use that money. You've paid for it. You've passed away. You get the 100,000. Your beneficiary gets a $100,000 check.
That's a real bonus.
Tax free.
That's terrific.
That's right.
That's a real bonus for somebody who has lost their significant other, their husband, their wife, and now they have to pay for that mortgage themselves, and they have those final expenses and that.
So here's the thing: what people don't, and I got into the business because I had someone pass who didn't have life insurance, and it was a really big strain. And I don't want anybody to have that. Like, I don't want people to go through what I went through, but the bills keep coming.
Yes,
the utility bill has to be paid. The water, gas, sewage has to be paid. The mortgage still has to be paid, and you're grieving. And most likely, you're not in a position where you actually want to work.
Right.
So it doesn't really, it's really comes at a time that it buys you time.
That's a great thing to have at that point in time. Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about how you're shifting your business right now, if you are, and what you're hearing from people right now as you're out there talking to people about this with what's going on in the country and the world right now.
So right now, it's in the past, when we are selling insurance, we are we're field underwriters. We need to act. In the past, we've had to meet physically with the people that we're talking to. Because we have to make an appointment, sit across the table from them. We have to look at them. We kind of look around to make sure that if I say, have you ever skydived? And I see a picture of him skydiving and he says no. And I have to kind of go, well, when did you go skydiving? You know, it's because it's risk assessment. Insurance is risk assessment, right? So, and then if someone might say, I'm 120 pounds, but they're clearly 320 pounds. You have to normally be in front of people. This is what the shift has been.
Okay.
We can now, our carriers are allowing us to do Zoom, just like this, to be able to do Zoom. And even one step further, we can just do it on the phone, which is because when we have to pull on their prescriptions or if we have to do a medical, we might not, because we have products where it's guaranteed issue. But if we do have to do that, when we have exam 1 go over there, they're going to get the statistics, they're going to get vitals, they're going to get all of that. So I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know if the carriers are actually going to allow this to happen going forward. So here's the plus side of it. It's easier to get a Zoom or a phone call with somebody than to get across the table from them. Yeah. But here's the additional problem. It's easier for them to say no because it's the value. They have to understand the value of what and then also too, we do look at their insurance policies to make sure that it looks good. If they have a great insurance policy, you don't want to replace that. You want to say, way to go. You did a great job. Never get rid of this. Do you want anything supplemental for your grandkids, your kids, your spouse? Like maybe there's something we've missed. If everything looks good, then what you do is make sure that they get with a good, make sure their will is in order. They have all their directives. So what you become is just a resource for them, which is NIA is great for that to give referrals, right? Absolutely. So that's all we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out that when this person passes, like for example, when I go, hold on a second, I put it in a big binder with their policy in it. I tell them to put their will in here, everything. And then I ask when I deliver their policy, I want their family members there so they can have this one hard conversation. It's bright yellow, put it in a place, right? And tell everybody this is where it is. It's never going to move. So when you pass away, nobody knows where this stuff is. Someone's dead. Now you can't ask them, right? We have that conversation. So if they already have everything in place, here guys, here's a yellow folder, put everything you have there. So it's not just not about for me, it's not just about selling a policy. It's about giving them information they might not know, and helping them organize it to when something tragic does happen, there's a plan in place. Like when my husband died, no one knew where he was going to be buried. We didn't know where anything was. He didn't have a will. He didn't have insurance. So there was a lot of guessing. And I want people not to guess. I want them to know a check is coming. If you buy it from me, I know a check is coming. It's tax-free. You can use it for whatever you want to. Grieve for however long you need to, and you can find it.
That's really terrific. And I think that's a real benefit of what you're offering and how you're doing business with your clients. So that really is probably an extra benefit in working with someone like you who's been through it and who understands what people are going through at that time. I've been through it too, as you know. So that's a very difficult time, and you just are not thinking straight. And so
nobody wants to talk about it. So let's have a really hard conversation one time.
Yeah, one time and be done. And then everybody knows where everything is, and your family is taken care of. So what are you hearing from your clients as you're talking to them right now? What are their biggest concerns with what we're going through in terms of how you're helping them right now?
So let me just tell you about, I might be stepping over, kind of going ahead a little bit, but also the way that I've had to shift a little bit. Right now, I'm seeing that people are on furlough. They don't have their jobs. Money's really tight. They don't know when their next paycheck's going to come, even if they have a job. They don't know the unknown, right?
Right.
Everybody's going through it. So when you have the mortgage protection, it happens to be a little bit more money because you are covering the whole mortgage, depending on age and health and all that kind of stuff. What I'm doing right now, I'm still working with mortgage protection, but I'm shifting into final expense. And let me tell you why I'm going into final expense. The older people, the aging population is vulnerable right now to what's going on. There's precautions, but the reality is the mortality rate is high there. So final expense doesn't cover a mortgage. What it does, it's literally what it says. Even if it's $1,000 worth of coverage, if some of these older people have a set budget, they have a fixed income, and they might or might not have, but maybe $20 or $30 to apply to. But let's just say $1,000 for someone who's living in a place that's $300. That's almost 3.5 months of their family being able to pay on that apartment or to pay towards a bill, even if it's 2 months. 2 months of $1,000, and that person might only be paying $15 or $20 a month. They get through the coronavirus, we might or might not up it up. It's just they have a fixed income. So it's like talking, Kathy, you only have $30. Well, let's not use all your $30 because you have a fixed income. Let's see if we can find something for you for $15 or $20 and get as much out of that as we possibly can because of your age and your circumstance. And let's try to go that route. I just placed a young lady for $5,000 in a guaranteed issue. She has HIV and she has COPD. Only $20 a month.
That's a really good deal for somebody with
this. It's a guaranteed issue. Yeah. So, I mean, and we pushed it off to May 1st. So you don't need to start paying on it until she's not covered until May 1st. But that's when she's getting her check come in, her regular check come in. So it's great. She's ready to go. So I'm shifting a little bit more into final expense because of that, because of everything that's happening. But I am still working mortgage because the mortgage, I've experienced the mortgage has really kind of, people are interested, but they're going, I want to wait until I see what happens, which is fine too. But final expense is kind of where we're at right now for probably quite a while.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting to hear that. So I know people are still buying houses. I've been talking to the realtor in our group, and she's had multiple closings in the last few weeks.
Great.
So as people are still buying houses, is this something, this mortgage protection piece, something that they're still interested in?
They're interested in it. So a great referral for me are mortgage lenders, to educate them and to educate and the realtors, because like the realtors, they're in their business. Like they are become personal friends and they know what's going on in their lives. And when a realtor suggests, you just bought a $200,000 house, or, the dream home or the home you want to be in, protect it. Don't you want to, if anything happens, like my husband died unexpectedly. He got hit by a box truck riding his bicycle. We didn't think he was going to die. It wasn't there. It was unexpected. Unexpected things happen. So just because you buy the house, you might or might not live for the 30 years. So let's go ahead and get something in place. And really, the younger you are and the earlier in that you are, you can get a lot more coverage. But it's good to get it on the front end just to kind of protect it, so it's part of your regular budget. Once we get a little further into a mortgage, you've already put up the curtains, you've done you've put the furniture in, and you've kind of allocated that for something that the importance level isn't there because you'll start putting things in it. So it's really good to try to get it on the front end just so it's part of your budget.
Oh, that's a really good idea. So what would be some advice that you would give to people right now who might be in our current situation, considering buying a house or considering getting life insurance? What would be some great advice that you would have for them right now?
I would say there are going to be some underwriting changes coming through because of this, some good things and some more difficult things. So now that the coronavirus is out, they're going to start asking for certain criteria to make sure you have not been exposed to the coronavirus. Okay. It hasn't been implemented yet.
Yes.
So it's good to get in and because it's not part of the underwriting yet, but it's going to be. Also, too, one thing that I've been noticing, because I'm with like I said, I'm with the brokerage house. It's Heartland Financial. It's been around a really long time. And so some of the carriers have actually created products just for our company that they're kind of going down the rabbit hole of trying to create products that people can afford, that it's not going to be, sometimes it's going to be expensive depending, I'm 52, mine's going to be a little bit more expensive than someone who's 36. So, but there are trying to create products that are going to be a little easier and cheaper. But okay, I encourage people to get on the bandwagon now before the corona. I mean, I don't know. Are they going to we don't know yet. Are they going to tell us to get a report for the antibodies? Have you had it? Have you not? Have you been exposed? All those questions are something they told us they're going to start doing.
So it's really a good idea for people to get in and get this life insurance and mortgage protection insurance and even final expense insurance before they put all those things in place, where then you're going to have to prove whether or not you've had it, you've been exposed, you do have it, those kinds of things. And that'll make it harder to get that coverage.
Potentially it can make it harder. I don't know how that's going to be measured. And I know that we spend a lot of our time on webinars and conference calls. We hear really good products that are coming out even for tobacco users, people who smoke cannabis, who smoke tobacco. I mean, like the cigars, not cigarettes. But we've come up with products now that they can get covered at a better rate than someone who just smokes cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So they're really coming in because this is nationwide, and you've got many states that actually, it's legal for recreational marijuana and medicinal. So, and because I'm licensed in California and Colorado as well. So I write policies in those areas, and they consider cigar use, marijuana smoking, depending how often you do it, and as a non-tobacco product. And so Foresters Financial has a very great product that is cheap. It's not non-tobacco, but it's not a tobacco product. It's kind of in between, and you get a better rate. So they're coming up with these things as we evolve. as our culture, as our country evolves.
Well, it sounds like they're very forward thinking.
Yes.
So the company that you're working with is really a good company for someone to be working with because they're so forward thinking.
Right.
And they are evolving with the times, with what's going on in our country's culture and with what's happening right now.
Yep.
So it sounds like your products are really important right now, and it would be a really good idea for people to get in now instead versus later instead of waiting. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way for people to reach you?
The best way right now is probably to send me a text and just let me know, and then I'll end up wanting to get their information and set up a time to talk to them and do a Zoom, or, you know, we can always meet, but to do a Zoom meeting, and that's 281-605-0110. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, you'll get my information out with them, but that's the quickest way so I can see it immediately, and then I can call you back or text you back and set up an appointment.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, Kathy, it's really been great to be here with you and learning more about what you're doing and how you're helping people with what's going on right now.